Shownummer 125 der Welt, der hier und jetzt versucht, sein erstes Viertelfinale auf der European Tour in 2018 zu erreichen. Hat mal vor Jahren bei der TV-Casting-Show X-Factor mitgemacht. Seitdem trägt er auch den Spitznamen X-Factor. Aus Stoke-on-Trent, Andy Boulton. Andy Boulton nimmt es mit dem jüngsten Weltmeister in der Geschichte der Sportart Darts auf. 2006 gewann er die BDO-Weltmeisterschaft von 21 Jahren und 90 Tagen. Aktuell steht er auf Weltranglistenplatz Nummer 20. Die Rede ist von The Cobra, Jelle Klaasen.
One half of the draw is set up for the quarterfinals here in Hamburg at the European Darts Match Play. We've got two world champions, a winner on the Pro Tour just a few days ago and a former European Tour winner in Justin Pipe, all safely through to tonight's action, the final session of play here at the edeloptics.de arena. We're now going to turn our attention to the other half of the draw, and this one is the one where we've seen a lot of the seeded players fall by the wayside. Only 3 of the 8 players we're going to see for the rest of the afternoon session are seeded players. 3 of the other guys are in their first ever final days on the European Tour. Willie O'Connor, Paul Rowley and Jason Lowe. And we've got 2 unseeded players duking it out. In this game here, it's the Cobra Jelle Klaasen, a former Lakeside World Champion, and Andy Boulton, a man who has reached the quarterfinals of a European Tour event twice before. 2016 he did it, 2017 he did it, 2018 he could continue that run. To find out if that is the case, I'm Dan Dawson talking you through it alongside the King, Mervyn King.
Hi Dan, how you doing?
Very well.
Good
Much
man.
better now that you're here to guide us through this.
Game on.
Now, where do you assess Jelle Klaasen's game? Because if you look at his results over the course of this year, they have not been anywhere near as good as they have been for the previous 2 years.
That's very true, but he has gone through some equipment changes. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 2 new sets of darts he's tried over the past 12 months. I haven't seen this set before, but then again, it's the first time I've actually watched him play a match, so he may have used this set before, but unknown to myself.
Well, as I understand it, having a chat with Jelle yesterday, he's had this set for a couple of months. He has another new set ready to go, which he got a couple of days ago, but he's not ready to use them in a tournament. But he does have set after set after set of darts. Mind you, Merv, I've seen you turn up at tournaments. You've got a big sports bag with about 20 sets of darts.
This is very true, but you'll find that their spare sets are the same ones I'm using. I have spare sets of a set that are only a gram lighter or a gram heavier, so it's not such a big change, but I have tried a different style of darts this year, which is unusual for myself. I normally stick with the same sort of shaped barrel, and they've proved dividends and also not.
Oh, just how do you, as a professional dart player, how do you come to terms with a new set? We saw Daryl Gurney, for example. We saw him trial a new set yesterday and give up halfway through the game.
Sometimes they're not ready for match play. You use them on the practice board, and you can
67.
You can find a bit of form on the on the practice board with the new stuff, and you think, yes, I'll use them. Under pressure, they don't work. But you can only find that out under pressure.
58.
I mean,
Yellow,
your guy we've seen
61.
many times switch darts in the middle of a game is Yeller. Oh, double 18. This is interesting for Yeller.
25.
He
And
changed
you
his
require
MO
164.
a year or two ago to try and leave double tops at every available opportunity. I was expecting him to go treble 7 for double top, but he's gone back to that old double 18. It's not worked for him on this occasion.
There's always the, not bonus, but there's always the fact that he may hit the bullseye going for a half ball to leave
Yellow, you require
36.
36.
Double 9.
No
Oh,
score.
busted.
And you require 70.
So a chance Boulton may not have thought he would get.
Game
Two.
of the first leg. Andy
Well,
Boulton.
Andy Boulton, he has already
Second
seen off
leg,
Christo
Andy
Reyes
Boulton,
and
first
Steve Beaton this
game
weekend,
on.
and particularly against Christo Reyes. All the way through the game, he was being outscored by Spain's number 1, but he was just sneaking up behind him in legs and taking
95.
chances when they were presented. And he's done exactly the same in the opening leg here against Yellow Klaasen.
Exactly what Paul Rowley done against myself. I failed to hit a double, give him a chance, and he went, thank you very much.
99.
There is an old saying, though, isn't there, about the 180s and doubles, and one being for show and the other for winning money and things like that.
This is very true. Normally it's a strong part of my game, but yesterday
Oh.
it wasn't.
That is an aconite. That's not a bounce out, that's a fallout.
That's a broken stem as well, I believe. I seem to pick two things up off the floor. I think the stem come away from the barrel.
Well, there's going to be some repair work needed for Andy Boulton.
That has, and he's using the point of the other dart to unscrew it. It's gone right on the top of the barrel.
Now, what's the plan? Is he actually going to just get a different dart now? Has he given up on repairing it?
No,
Or
I
has he
think
got a
he's
tool?
managed to get the thread out of the barrel, and he's just gone for a new stem.
Right, there we go.
Had it myself, where you break the stem and it goes right flush with the top of the barrel, and you have to find a point to dig into it and turn it that way.
Is there any pressure, like this situation? You've got an opponent who's waiting for you, the crowd waiting for you, there's a few whistles. Do you just not care? I've got to do what I've got to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't wave a magic wand and it suddenly happens. You have to repair your dart, so what is the point of worrying about it? You just get on with it and do it. If it takes a bit longer, it takes a bit longer.
Well, Yellow's suddenly decided to go and change a couple of things now.
140.
Well, I think that hanging about has done Andy Boulton the world of good there, scoring-wise.
Seems to. That's his first ton 40.
Yellow looks like he's sweating up already.
40.
Not surprised, though. It is slightly warm down there.
It is very, very hot in this arena. And I think that may have been a contributing factor to perhaps not as high averages as we're used to seeing on the European Tour this weekend from the field. Yellow is a guy who does
59.
struggle with the
And
heat
you
quite a
require
bit.
127.
He spent a lot of time just playing in a normal shirt, not his proper dart shirt, because they were just too warm in the end.
94.
I think he's getting a little bit sweaty on the hands as well. He keeps occasionally re-gripping the dart.
100.
No grip issue there for Yellow Klaasen, down to a 2-darter, but it may all be for naught, because double 16 or double 8
Game
doubles
shot
the
is
lead
Andy
for
Boulton,
X Factor.
Delegate to throw first.
It's that last dart again.
97.
Do they hurt, Merv? Do they hurt? When somebody's going out last dart on a double, you think you've got a chance, or do you try not to even look at what they're doing?
It depends. I mean, even if you're not looking, you're aware of what they're doing. You can hear the dart hit the board. You can hear the crowd. And the first two, you know he's missed, and you're hoping for the same.
100.
And they go game shot. So it's yeah, it's like a blade in your side, and they twist it with the last one.
54.
Nicer to be the one doing the twisting, I would imagine.
Very much so, yes.
Yeah.
132.
Well, there have been some encouraging signs from Jelle Klaasen this weekend, particularly taking out Michael Smith, the number 2 seed. But I thought in the
59.
first round against Dragutin Horvat, we've seen Jelle a few times this year where he's raced out the blocks and been playing fantastically, and then something has gone wrong. He's missed a whole host of darts at double, or he's had a bit of bad luck.
95.
And then he's just completely been derailed and not been able to get back on track. But against Dragutin, he went 3-0 up.
63.
Dragutin levelled at 3-all, and then Jelle found himself in the groove again, and he's not been able to do that very much of late. And you look at the Players' Championship Series, he's not even in the top 100 in the averages, and that is astonishing for a man who has won PDC titles.
Well, it certainly is. Former world champion, Lakeside champion.
134, and do you require 40?
He's one of these players that when he's on, 180s are for fun. Last start of the game.
Boulton.
And it's a 15 darter, and it's a double break of throw, and there's a very real danger for Jelle Klaasen here. We talked about him not being able to get back on track when something goes wrong. Well, things have started going wrong from the very first leg here, and unless Jelle can find a way of getting back into this game, it could be over very, very quickly. And Andy Boulton, for the 3rd year running, could find himself in a quarter-final on the European Tour, and this year he's doing it despite not even having a tour card.
It's a very short race.
40.
I've seen 1 or 2 bounce outs today already. I don't know whether the heat affects that or not, to be fair. So I say the race is it's a very short race. Best of 11, first to 6. And if you find yourself 2 or 3-0 down, that's a precarious situation to be in.
And in those games, I mean, look, Jelle's not played well for the first 3 legs of this at all. And Andy Boulton is getting better and better. How hard is it? Because the pressure that Jelle must be feeling now will be just increasing and increasing and increasing, isn't it?
83.
Definitely. I mean, I've had some shockers up there where I haven't found anything at all, and the longer the match goes on, the further behind you get, the more pressure you do feel, and it does get worse and worse and worse. It's a horrible place to be. You just want the stage to open up and swallow you.
93, and he requires 16.
Well, one man, his performance trajectory is going up and up and up, and the other is remaining steadfastly at the very low end of his performance levels. He can't hit big numbers at the minute, Jelle Klaasen.
84.
Andy Boulton's confidence seems to be getting higher and higher, more and more,
60.
as he hits 3 singles.
Well,
Commentator's curse.
yes, you'll get used to that, Merv, don't worry.
115.
That's a bit better from Jelle then.
It is a short race, as Merv says. There is still time for games to completely turn on their head. But 4-0 down and only averaging in the 70s. And Jelle Klaasen with
51.
Had this been Jelle Klaasen a year ago, when even despite his injury, he was making consecutive quarter-finals on the Euro Tour, 5 tournaments running, quarters or semi-finals, and there was a final in there as well, the back end of 2016. Then you'd think he can still come good in this, but can he come good when he's just had such a hard time of it? His confidence must be as low as it's been in a long, long while.
But you have to look at the bigger picture. It can come good at any time.
99.
It can
Jelle
suddenly
require
just switch on.
111.
It doesn't progress slowly. It can turn up like a flick of a switch.
46.
It must be very hard to keep believing that, though, when the game it continues to go at this sort of... Oh, my, no, it couldn't, could it? Oh, that would have been a kick in the unmentionables.
100. Jelle requires 65.
Can Jelle get his first leg on the board? 65. 48. Double top. last dart. Pins it, lovely. Gets his first leg on the board. It's a long road to win this match, but he's on track now. He's got a leg on the board, and he can feel a little bit, just a little bit better about this game and himself.
43.
And with a slow start from Andy Boulton, he may get himself ahead.
95.
Well, it wasn't, I mean, it's a perfect first start for Jelle Klaasen there, but even when he's getting that right, a little bit of bad luck or just a poorly aimed follow-up, he's only come away
99.
95 there. He's got to turn those ones into ton 40.
Definitely. Good second dart.
96.
A bit unfortunate with a deflection on the third one there.
And this will be perhaps a point about the equipment. When you do change your equipment and you're not completely used to how your darts behave, that does make a difference in how you throw, where you throw, and turning those shots into 2 treble visits rather than 1, isn't it? Because you know how your darts are going to behave if you clatter into them.
Very much so. With new equipment, you have not just the new feeling when you throw them, but everything that they do, how they sit in the board, if they go close to a wire, if they don't go close to a wire, if they hit the barrel, if they hit the flight. There's so much to learn, because it's not second nature.
140, and you require
Klaasen has upped his game noticeably. And he is going to get a chance to break the Boulton throw, something he has not managed in this game.
140, Jelle requires 70.
Nice 140 to leave a double from Andy. Tops again.
50.
Just fails on this occasion.
And you require 20.
The problem with going 4-0 down is it doesn't leave a lot of room for mistakes.
Very much. That's a great go for Andy. Doesn't use it. Went the wrong side.
Jelle requires 20.
As I said before, when the further you get behind, the harder it is.
10.
Well, a squandered chance, I feel, there.
10.
Andy Boulton averaged 86 in the first round, just under 90 in the second. And right now, he is only a leg away from the quarterfinals, and again, he is only averaging in the high 80s.
Perfect start from Klaasen.
Winner of this features either the Welsh #1 Gerwyn Price, who is hobbling around with a snapped Achilles tendon, or Jason Lowe, a man on his Euro Tour debut who's found his way through to the final day. And look at that, 9 darts missed at double by Jelle Klaasen. Andy Boulton's missed 8.
He's still on 38%. Where poor Jelle, I'm afraid, is only on 10%.
Yeah, you're going to have to be scoring. First 9 average will have to be at 140 if you're going to need 10% of your doubles and win a game.
Could that be the killer blow from Boulton?
55.
2 visits away, Andy Boulton, from only his 2nd win against Jelle Klaasen. They haven't met for a couple of years, but he'd only ever beaten him
94.
once in a Players' Championship event back in 2015, and even then, in fact, all 3 of their games have gone to last leg deciders. This does not look like we are going all the way.
No.
And you require 90.
It does look like Jelle Klaasen may be going all the way home.
Double 5 for the match, and pins it straight in the middle.
Best leg of the match from Andy Boulton, a 12-darter to finish it in some style. Jelle Klaasen, the same cannot be said about the end of his European darts match play. Some encouraging signs for the Cobra making the final day here in Hamburg. But once again, as it happened in 2016, as it happened in 2017, X Factor is through to the quarter-finals of a European Tour event. He has never gone any further, but he can put that right if he beats either Jason Lowe or Gerwyn Price in the quarter-finals this evening.
Congratulations, Andy. First quarter-final this year on the European Tour?
Yeah, first one this year, I think. I think it's my third one, so hopefully it's third time lucky. Yeah, I mean, the first leg was a massive leg. I was nowhere in it, and then he opened the door and I shut it, kind of thing. And yeah, happy days. It was a big leg in the game, I think.
Was the pace, reducing the pace, important?
Well, early on today, I went and practiced with, well, not practice with, but I was on the same board as Justin Pipe, so I tried to just play at a steady rhythm, kind of thing. I don't know if that, I felt probably like I flew a bit quicker than normal, to be fair, but the important thing was trying not to play at his pace, but I think I did, but it helped me a little bit as well, I suppose. Yeah.
Cool. See you in the quarters. Thank you very much. Andy Boulton. Sagt natürlich, das Tempo war deshalb wichtig, weil auf keinen